Hey bestie! Hey besties! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. I'm Emma.
I'm Hannah.
And we are going to be telling you our top 5 Disney tips for going on spring break. We are both college students right now. We are in our sophomore year. We went to Disney last year for spring break, and we are going to Disney again this year for our spring break, and we're so excited. Between last year and this year, we have accumulated a few tips for you guys if you would like to also go to Disney over spring break. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Our first tip is finding affordable flights and hotels for your stay. Some of the best flights with free flight changes are Southwest and American.
The best day to get flights are on Tuesday. During the week, for some reason, my mom tells me Tuesday.
And then once you get there, Disney has the Magical Express. That is kind of like a free bus service. Unfortunately, it is going out of service at the end of 2021, but that is a great way to get straight to your hotel.
The best and most affordable hotels for college students are the All-Star hotels, just because they are the ones that are still on property, but they are also the cheapest, so they are the value resorts, but they still have value. I highly suggest that you stay with 2 or more people. We stayed with 4 on our last trip, so it was split up evenly so that it was nice and cheap.
The All-Star resorts are around $200 a night. When you had 4 people, it was only $100 for the entire trip per person. If you can split hotel rooms, then that will save you so much money.
Park prioritizing.
That is our next tip. So each park, you can either do like a full day or a half day in. Some of the parks that you definitely can do a half day are Epcot and Animal Kingdom. And then the parks that you definitely might want to spend more time, like a full day on, is Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios. You can reserve Rise of the Resistance from your hotel room now, so you don't have to go to the park booty crack early. But definitely, if you have the boarding group, you do have to be there. And now with the Park Hopper Pass being included in the park tickets that you can get, park hopping can start at 2 p.m.
Last year, we flew in and we just did a half day at Epcot. We only had one other full day and then another half day. So our full day, we went to Magic Kingdom in the morning, and then we park hopped to Animal Kingdom.
That was a crazy day. We sprinted through the entire Animal Kingdom park to get to Everest for our Fast Pass time. We made it a minute before it was ended.
And then our last half day before we flew out again, we went to Hollywood Studios.
Definitely recommend going for 2 to 3 days. That is like probably the ideal time. You can totally hit all of the parks in 3 days. Our third tip is food. It's all about food.
As college students, you might not have the money to go to make reservations at all, like the really expensive restaurants. So I highly suggest you go to the quick service restaurants. They are cheaper, but they still have such good quality.
Our favorite quick services in Animal Kingdom are the Satuli Canteen, which have the best cheeseburger bao buns. I've been craving those since I had them. And then the second restaurant that you can totally go to is Restaurantosaurus. That has a lot of burgers and different like American cuisine.
In Magic Kingdom, you can go to Pinocchio's Village House, which is famous for their flatbread pizza. I love their flatbread pizza, and it's so fun because you can look out onto the It's a Small World ride, and you can like wave to them, and they have little signs. And then also in MK, for a little sneaky snack, you can go to Sleepy Hollow, where they have the famous Nutella waffle with fruit. And then the last one is Pecos Bill Tall Tale Inn and Cafe, which is Mexican food and Mexican cuisine. It's so
tacos
good.
And then in Hollywood Studios, Woody's Lunchbox is one of my favorite places to go. They have the best grilled cheese. I'm a big believer in the grilled cheese movement. Pizza Rizzo is one of my other favorites. It has pizza. It's like a very Italian food. It is really good, especially after you go see Muppets 3D.
And then at Epcot, I usually like to eat around the world just because it's so much fun and you get so many choices. And then also there's the option of the land, which is all the way across the park. It's another food, kind of cafeteria style.
Their mousse is so good. So totally get the mousse.
Get the mousse.
You won't regret it.
You won't regret it.
If you are not really looking to have 3 full meals or 3 even just quick services, is we would totally recommend having snacks in place of a lunch usually. Some of our favorite snacks are Mickey pretzels in every single park. I can't even express to you guys how much I talk about Mickey pretzels every single day of my life. Mickey ice cream bars, obviously, you can't go wrong with a Mickey ice cream bar. But then some of our like more specific snacks in Epcot, Joy of Tea, which is boba tea in the China Pavilion. I love boba tea, so totally recommend it, it's so good. And then also the Kabuki Cafe has shaved ice and it's so good, and that is the Japan Pavilion. So that is Epcot.
And then at Magic Kingdom, they have the option of Aloha Isle, which is where you can get the famous Dole Whip. And then they also have Gaston's Tavern, which is in Fantasyland. It's so good. They have the famous huge cinnamon rolls about this big. Amazing for sharing with friends. And then they also have churros! And with many different assortment of dipping sauces.
In Animal Kingdom, chocolate covered bananas are the way to go. And then in Hollywood Studios, Hollywood Scoops,
the way to go.
Iconic. They have a new milkshake there. It's like kind of like a Reese's cup. It's like chocolate peanut butter. I can't wait to try that. Our next tip is how you can be safe while in the parks and how Disney enforces that. Hannah has been there a couple times already, and what did you think?
The ride for Everest was like going back into another queue. So like the line looks super long, but it was only an hour. They're super spaced out because they have markings on the ground. Don't let that fool you. Only follow what like the sign says at the end of the line.
Mobile ordering for all restaurants is required now, with the exception of sit-down restaurants. We all know how to mobile order. It's honestly sometimes more convenient because you can just order it and just go.
So masks have to be worn at all times at Disney. They also do a temperature screening before you get into the park. You have to wear face masks that adhere to your face. Within rides, you have to keep your mask on at all times. Even if you're like in your own car, you have to keep your mask on. They won't give you your picture if you don't have your masks on, and they will also possibly stop the ride. On Kilimanjaro, somebody took their mask off and they actually stopped the ride until the person put their mask back on.
Our final tip for you guys is the best time to go to the parks.
Don't go to Magic Kingdom on Mondays. There's too many people there. Don't go.
Don't do it.
Don't go.
With that, also trying to go to the parks during the week instead of the weekends is super helpful. Even though we said Magic Kingdom Mondays are so busy, the rest of the week is typically low volume. The final thing on this is there are no magic hours. Sad. So unfortunately the park closes like when it closes. It is okay because the parks are actually open a little bit later now than they were a few months ago, so they are closing like around 9 o'clock. But that's all our tips. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe down below and turn on the bell for post notifications so you know every single time I post. Don't forget to leave a comment about what your favorite park is, and if you would like to see more of what I do when I'm not posting, or what Hannah does when I'm not making her film with me. I am emmat.18 on Instagram, and Hannah is
han.pohar on Instagram.
Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you next week. Bye!